chat. Here we go. We have Yan versus Caard, a matchup of two South Americans who are not in South America. A US East matchup. Feer is one of the many teams that could still qualify for the major coming up in Boston. And I'm sure everybody here watching will be rooting for them. But we're going to see if Yan can take down his other teammate. Now, if you guys remember, Yan has had a lot of recent 1v1 success, but he actually took a series loss to his teammate, Lost. And Lost hasn't had nearly the same resume that Yan has. But since then, Caard has grinded his way to number 8 on the leaderboard. And we're going to see if he can use his 1v1 skills against Yan to get the win today. Now, I've also seen these guys play as Yan gets a nice flip reset, wave dash shot. I've seen these guys play in after scrims to warm up Yan. We've had Yan on a few different show matches, and every time their scrim ends, these two stay, I believe, in the private match playing against each other in order to warm the other up. Or I guess in the case of Yan, it was the Yan who was playing in the matches. So they were warming him up. Let me adjust the title here. So we now have Yan and Caard. But will Caard be able to steal a game or steal a series? Yan certainly isn't going to be going easy on his teammates now that he knows what they can do to him. And he's up 3-0 against Caard just a minute in. I'm going to go ahead and pull up rlduels.gg, the best site or the most useful site to exist in recent memory, to give you guys an idea of what their matches have been recently, because I actually think that Caard has had a couple good wins as Yan scores again, 4-0. Yan most recently played against First Killer and lost. So actually Yan, believe it or not, is on a 2-series losing streak because he lost to Lost in a best of 5. Then he played First Killer here on my stream. That was a $200 best of 7, and that was one of the best matches I've seen in a long time. But I'll be honest, so far, minute 30 in, and Yan has no interest in this match being a good one. He is looking to try and absolutely demolish his teammates with some friendly fire. As Caard should be getting his first goal, but purely off of Yan gifting it to him. After a kickoff win for Yan, he doesn't convert on his irretrievable reset. Now, Caard, as I look up on rlduels.gg, is 4-1 in his 1v1 career, assuming that RL Duels have found all of his matches. And that includes a win over Raziers, a very impressive win. I can't remember if that was back and forth servers or what, but Raziers is a great win. A Theo over Gomb. And then he played against First Killer in the USA versus Brazil matches. He wasn't able to take a game off First Killer there, but then beat Reddles 3-1. So that's you get the entirety of his show match history because it's short enough to list. Not often is that the case with any 1v1ers. So a loss to First Killer, but otherwise wins across the board. And certainly a win against Yan today would be the crown jewel of his 1v1 achievements so far. Right now, I would say that's actually his debut match against Raziers. 3-2 over him. It's probably his best result so far. Caard hasn't had a ton of possession so far in this match, as Yan has been doing a lot of kickoff winning. He needed just a little bit more boost to pre-flip back to this one, but he's managed to find a way to gain control. Caard doesn't seem to have any interest in putting pressure on Yan in the back corner, and I think he needed to. I would like to go back and watch Caard during those seconds when Yan was not doing the best job of collecting the ball, because those would have been great moments to steal it away from him, or at least make him think in order to earn the possession back. Instead, Caard almost waited for Yan to fully gain possession before trying to make a play. He's down 6-1 right now. Yan, he's going to hit the scoreline. You know that scoreline. Two Brazilians playing against each other. You know we're getting it once. Yo, Fitz RL, thank you for gifting a sub over to Link. And thank you for the Prime as well. Caard off the ceiling. His wave dash ends up slotting the ball right at Yan. And I like this aggression he's playing with now. Low on boost and does not want to give up control of the ball. Has a demo, so he just needs to rush the ball to the net, and he will get his goal. 1:37 for Caard to bring it back. The only issue is he's going to need to bring it back with kickoffs, and he hasn't had a great record here on kickoffs against Yan so far. He's going to go to the wave dash. It does give him a possession. First touch is just a bit too strong. He turned it into a hook shot. Yan was able to save it. But I think the margin on that shot was mostly to do with Yan trying to set up a counterattack as opposed to using all of his strength to get a save. This is not going to be a good 50 for Caard. Not when he has 0 boost. But maybe that's him doing his best to change up what he was doing wrong earlier, which was just letting Yan have way too much space. I mean, it can be tough to enter the back corner of your opponent and come away with a win. In fact, you in general don't want to do it. But even if you're not trying to challenge them in the corner, you have to be around in order to make them feel the pressure and not be able to set up a clean possession. Yan is going to go for a reset wave dash. Caard waits it all out, and Yan's going to go top right. It's time for Caard to workshop the kickoff. With a minute left to go, he just needs to figure out a way to neutralize that and then go from there. While he certainly has lost the midfield game so far as well, there's really nothing that Yan has done wrong. His biggest place to improve is on those first possessions. Caard wave dashing into the ceiling. We'll take it back down to the ground. Yan thought he could challenge. Oh, he did! He did challenge, and he just found his way back. How did Yan get there? I thought for sure we were at least going to see one more goal for Caard, but no. Apparently, Yan will just fight through the bump and find his way back down to the ground. No 3 goals against him. He's going to hold Caard to 2. Yan sends the ball away. Caard, one last chance. This reset double could be nasty, but no, a bit too high. Game number 1, heavily in favor of Yan. Caard going to get a card change most likely to try and find the answer. Game number 2. I forget what Fennec Caard was in before, but Caard's going to go into a Fennec that has been used to get a lot of 1v1 success. And no surprise, he is instantly able to win the first kickoff after hopping into this Fennec. A lot of people say it's the French Fennec, or was it Alpha 54 that I heard was the first one to use it a long time ago? Of course, I would say it is most frequently used now by the KSA squad. You go watch MENA RLCS, and 80% of the cars are this. And you have to really strain to find a different one, it feels like. The French Fennec, I believe, is what it's been deemed. Yan's going to get himself demoed on this fake kickoff. Caard should be able to score it. 2-0 for him in game number 2. It's all in the car, and Caard is proving that right now. You switch to this car, and I guarantee you will also be top 8 in the world in 1v1. I like to see Caard chasing down Yan here, forcing him to play it out of the corner maybe earlier than he wanted to. Yan is about to pop off, though. Yan! Yan, there's nothing you can do to stop him. He is absolutely inevitable. Sure, you might give a little bit of pressure early, but that just means he'll start his dribble fast at ceiling height and go the whole distance before slotting it top left. My goodness. Yan might be down in this game, but it can't feel like he'll be down for long. Yan undercutting Caard to guarantee a solid possession, but I like this from Caard. I think this is great adjustments from him so far. He saw what happened when he let Yan just do whatever he wanted in the first game, and you know, I think there's going to be fine-tuned adjustments to it this is the reason right here why Caard wasn't doing it in the past. He just felt like if he stayed aggressive on 0 boost, that this situation would happen more often than not. And there's no question that he just doesn't have a choice. I think he still has to continue to try it, because the other result was what we saw last game, which was certainly just full and complete control of the game by Yan. You can certainly see Caard making a strong effort to include those landing wave dashes. Caard, he's going to try and collect and cut, and it's going to work. This is the trade-off that happens here with the ball floating at midfield. Somebody is going to win the race to the boost. Caard says, you can have it. I know I'm going to get a clean possession. I just need to cut it and try and win with 15, which sometimes when you have control of the ball, you don't need more than that. And Yan, who had just reset on 100, decides to use the boost right away and aggressively challenge Caard. He's got a great position here. Needed to start that low 50 setup a little bit earlier, but he might still be able to score. He's in control of possession still. Yan, so efficient. Caard does have the save. Is he going to try and do the same back? If he did, he was not successful, as Yan still in control. And look at this play. Yan has a mastery of the ball matched by very, very few. I wouldn't say unmatched, but my goodness. Some players just look like they defy physics, and Yan is certainly one of them. Thank you, by the way, Life RL6 for the tier 1 for 5 months. Don't think I was able to thank you. Ooh, tough landing from Caard. I think he had a window there. And then Handy Zandy, thank you for the tier 1 for 5 months as well. Caard pre-flip to retake the lead. 4-3 lead. Are they talking in voice chat? That's a good question. I'm not sure. I know they were scrimming at least an hour ago, so it's actually been a while since they probably stopped scrimming. So did they remain in voice chat? Hard to say. Yan, a kickoff win. He had about 4 or 5 of these converted for goals in the previous series. Caard has cleaned it up for the most part, but always at risk of having Yan pull away. He's not careful. Wave dash kickoff for Caard is lost into his corner, but not in a way where he's able to grab boost. Yan, the demo, and he's going to go for a stylish finish, because why not? I think he could have just power shot before the respawn. But when the double is free, why not put on a show for the show match? Is Yan the first person to be #1 in all game modes? He's not. There's been a good amount of people who have done it. As far as recently, I think Lion Blaze... Did Zen do it? Zen certainly could do it, but when he grinded out 1s, I'm not sure if he ever had 3s. I believe he had at least 2s and 1s at the same time. I think Caard has done it probably multiple times, I feel like. I feel like Caard was one of the first people to do it that I can remember. I know there's probably a few more. I want to say Johnny made a video about the players who have done it, and he listed off, you know, somewhere around like 5, I would say. But I know Lion Blaze for sure. I know Caard for sure. What a play by Yan. My goodness. And Yan is on the list as well because of plays like this. He's doing such a good job of catching the ball off the setup. He's starting these dribbles with the ball falling to the ground and then flipping into the ball to regain, you know, the upper momentum, or at the very least a neutral momentum, which is not easy to do. And on top of that, he wins out the 50 and then pinches the ball into the net. Caard can't get this one on target, but he has a boost steal and a potential chance to punish a boost grab from Yan. What a save. Yan, I thought, went out to the midfield. The fact that he has nothing left over means he must have turned around before he fully went there. Caard can't get back to this ball. Is Yan going to find a way to score it? Of course he is. It's not even going to be a problem as he falls from the ceiling and slams in his 7th. Yo, Abdi Eagle 95, thank you for the Prime. 3 months of Prime. Yan just needs to hold on to his lead. 30 seconds left to go. Caard did well to adjust in this game. He wants to go the whole distance, and he just might. Caard! He's going to put one right back at Yan. We saw Yan's full field dribble where Caard will match him. Such a great finish to the shot. 130 km/h. I think Yan gave it a little bit extra. But what makes it so great is when you can fall away from the ball as far as Caard did, and then use that flip to perfectly, finish on the ball, you can get so much additional power. Caard in the air again. Reset. He has 20 seconds if he can score this one, but a little bit too far away from the nets. Yan gets to stay grounded in his attempt to make the save, which makes it much, much easier for him to do. Yan's going to look for a tough angle. I mean, an easy angle. What am I talking about? It's Yan after all. Lands to pop the ball back up to himself. And easily taps in the 8th. Thank you, Geronimo. Prime till full time. That's right. 2 months of priming. Till we go full time. Yan, another one. 9-5. Certainly this game is finishing in his favor. Are we going to see a couple sweeps today? We're on track. Caard's going to have to go to yet another car change. We got to see him in the Carmine Corp away decal. The classic regain car. Will he move to it in this 3v3 as Yan goes up 2-0? Hey YouTube, the sponsor of today's video is War Thunder. War Thunder is the most comprehensive vehicle combat game ever made, with incredibly detailed vehicles and over 2,000 different tanks, planes, helicopters, and ships that you can play as. You can play in PvP, and when demolition happens on the vehicles, it actually makes sense. Instead of getting bumped into the stratosphere in a direction that you couldn't possibly read, if a vehicle gets hit in a certain location, you're going to see damage that makes sense in that spot. And there's hundreds of different camouflages and stickers you can use to modify your vehicles when you're playing. And ultimately, I'm just impressed with how many vehicles they were able to include in the game. You can play for free now on PC, Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, or the previous console generation. And if you use my link, you can get a free massive bonus pack, including vehicles, boosters, and more. Game number 3. Yan and Caard. Yan has absolutely controlled the series so far. Certainly comes in as the favorite. And there are players in the 1v1 scene that defy rank. I believe Yan is actually, rank 1. So it doesn't hurt, but he is certainly one of the guys. I guess I'm thinking mostly of Toxic in the previous round, where you get to a point where rank certainly is no longer the indicator of whether or not you can hang in a show match. But I tell you what, rank 1 is the correct rank to have for Yan right now. I think he's got the right rank. If he drops down, it'll be a shame because he still deserves number 1 very clearly. What a dribble. Caard, number 8. As he looks to stay fresh in Rocket League. You like to see the longtime players grind in ones, as I believe it's a sign they're looking to continue to improve their game, if you ask me. A lot of players, it seems like later in their career, will shy away from ones. And Caard has been the king for a good long while. Down 3-0 against Yan. Delayed flick. Just a bit too high. He's going to try and use his 80 boost to turn this into a shot. It's not going to be easy. Coming from underneath the ball, and Yan is going to prove that to be a mistake. Not often can anybody get away with a dribble like that. It's just such a costly play in terms of boost, considering its chance of scoring. Caard gets on the board with a nice bump on Yan. Yan just dropped to number 3 in 2s. I assume that that's the hardest game mode to both get and keep rank 1. So I believe that's being queued the most. So you'd have to continuously play. You can get rank 1 in 1s, and then you can just stop playing. And you can stop playing for sometimes weeks, I think, and just keep it. But I can't imagine that's how it works in 2v2. Caard thought for sure there was going to be a window to shoot here as Yan tries to recover back to his half, but it was never there, and he couldn't keep Yan from finding his way into the corner boost and resetting on 100. Caard can't get possession. Yan is all over the ball. And you'll get a demo. Immediately touches this dribble to the air, even though it is not in a position that is worth dribbling. Back in the day, I believe Evo was one of the, kind of pioneers of just any bounce is an aerial setup, no matter what it was. And I think at the time, it was to much detriment, as he probably needed to either wait a second to set up his dribbles or maybe not turn everything into an air dribble. But now we've gotten to the point where Yan is proving everything can be an air dribble, and you can just find a way to make it work. Right now, Caard is still within striking distance, but the way the series has gone, you have to think that Yan should be able to finish this out. Sometimes a front flip flick is all you need. Placement can be better than power, as Yan loses the kickoff and looks to swing around in net. A nice shot directly over the top of him can be the toughest to save. Yan is 1,800. Is that true? By the way, I believe this was the season that we did Ranked Royale. I was wondering if Ranked Royale would have any effect on, how many points the highest player has. Because for a while, a lot of players were grinding ones for it. Although I don't think Yan was in the US for that. So I don't think he had a chance to play it. Caard, a kickoff goal to be within 1. Do you really think that Furia can make the major? Yeah, I think there's about 10 teams, right, that can all reasonably make the major. Furia has had a lot of success coming into this season, or this split. And I think it would be silly to suggest that they can't. I forget where in that top 10 they currently reside, but the separation of points is not enough to believe like they can't do. I mean, you can't watch this gameplay right here and not have faith. How can you not have faith that Yan will find a way? Look at this shot. He is absolutely putting on a show. You should do a Ranked Royale at the very end of a season. I think the problem with that is somebody will have already won it. The idea behind announcing that you're going to do a tournament like that late, someone like Yan can be like, oh, well, I'm already rank 1, and then not have to really queue and then maybe qualify without doing anything. Whereas if you announce it at the beginning, it forces everybody to win against other people who are also trying to qualify. Yan, oh, how did he get that back on target? Obviously incredibly greedy. I don't think, considering a different match situation, Yan's not trying to score that, because just because he can get on target doesn't mean you should. Very clearly going to result in a Caard goal, but he seems confident against his teammate. Yan. Strong touch. Oh, going for the Psycho. I've only ever seen one Psycho in 1v1s. I'm down to see another. Caard not able to convert on a kickoff. He is within 1 with a minute left to go. Yan slots it top left. Now he'll need 2. I think these two probably play a good amount of 1v1 against each other, just by the fact that I mentioned earlier when they stayed in those private lobbies and played against each other. I imagine there's been many a practice sessions. Many a steel sharpens steel, is that, or iron sharpens iron? What is the phrase? I'm sure they've worked against each other a ton. Yan trying to go for the offensive corner pinch, just barely missed. Caard has control, needs a flick and a kickoff goal. Doesn't have this one, doesn't have the 100 boost. Not looking likely for him. Yan's gonna launch a musty. Caard actually does have to save and needs an immediate shot. Yan knows it. So he takes away his opportunity. Caard, low 50, it's in! 14 seconds for him to find a kickoff goal. Down but not out is Caard. A long way to climb back, and it all starts with a solid kickoff. Seems like he was trying to go wave dash, but Yan undercut him. He's going to stay on the ball, but turn away. What's going on here? He's got himself a possession. Tap the ball over Yan. Yan can put it just about anywhere. He has boost advantage, but what does he do? He tries to go for a psycho, and Caard's able to keep it up. Will he keep this one up? No, he will not. Yan taps it to the ground. It's GG's. Thanks for playing. I got it out before anybody left. That's the first time ever. But it'll be a Yan sweep. Yan 3 over Caard. Put on a show for us, though. Appreciate these guys coming out to play.
Remember, play War Thunder now for free with my link and get a massive bonus pack including vehicles, boosters, and more.